Yeah, it's time for a cup of tech gumbo. Time to welcome in Haggai Davis. What's happening, man?
I'm just in from crime fighting.
It's, okay, so for those that just tuned in, earlier in the show, I don't even remember what sparked the Batman talk, but I kind of waved my hand as I was talking, and it was in your general direction, and I kind of dubbed you Batman earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Embrace it.
the shoe fits.
It's a tough life.
Yeah.
It's a tough life. You don't get much rest.
Don't get a lot
There's
of
no thanks because, well, until somebody outs you, there's no thanks. And even then, people are going to hate you anyway.
Yeah. But I got a cool ride.
Very cool. Yeah. The whip is really nice. We have a lot of topics to cover today. A lot of them revolve around things that can go wrong within your technology. Let's start with a little bit of malware coming to us from public phone charging ports. I think this is one that we all kind of know on a general level, but need to be reminded of from time to time.
That's right. The FBI came out this week and said, more and more people are traveling again, going to the airports, actually going out into a mall, and they have those public charging stations where you can just stick your USB plug into it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
See, and I just did that not long ago.
Your phone is probably full of all kind of malware and God knows whatever other garbage. What happens is somebody will walk up, stick their phone, their USB port into it, and they will load malware into
the
that
port.
jack. Yes, and it'll sit there
How does
waiting
that
for
work?
It's just
It's a plug. Like
yes, but it's got memory that can sit inside of that, and so when you jab your USB device that's plugged into your phone into that port, you're now authorizing all that malware into your phone or into if you have your computer and you're doing it that way, which is even worse, then don't do that. Bring your own little charging block and USB and go find an outlet somewhere. Sit on the floor. Don't use those public charging ports. They are disasters waiting to happen.
They're so darn convenient, though. Haggai.
Oh, they're
like
absolutely.
If I stop and get me a $25 tuna sandwich and an $8 bag of chips and a $9 bottle of water
with the $16 beer.
Yeah. Oh, you're living the good life over there. And then I sit down at those like raised bar stool type seats. It's right there on the panel, so I can flick through TikTok the entire time while charging.
Yes, and provide Google and Facebook and with everybody else all the information about your entire viewing habits. Yes.
Okay. No. It's not Google or Facebook I'm worried about, though. It's whoever walked to that charger and uploaded whatever
they've got
they did.
you. Yeah, I mean, they've got you because all of your information now is basically your phone is going to scream to whoever juice jacked it, and you're pushing information at them because your phone is now loaded with malware.
Juice jacked it. I like that term. It sounds like a kid in third grade taking everyone's Capri Suns.
That's what the FBI calls it.
Give me Sunny D.
Juice jacking.
Okay. Juice jacked. Malware is out there, and so is. We had a spyware story as well, and now I'm looking for it.
Oh, the
Israeli the new spyware firm says to have helped hack iPhones around the globe.
So this group. This is a very high-level, sophisticated group from Israel. They were able to specifically target individuals, mostly were journalists or politicians, this wasn't like when they're creating malware or something, trying to get ransomware into a phone or take down a hospital or something. They only wanted to go after specific people. They were able to break into the code of iPhones. They could send an email to that person. If that person looked at it on their phone, they didn't even have to click anything. It loaded malware into that specific iPhone, and then they could go in and they could delete files. They could read files. It was just amazing technology. Now, this was in 2020, and if you had iOS 14 at the time, that was the version that they were able to hack into. And once Apple released iOS 14.4, that supposedly prevented any further access by this group. But I mean, once they're into the iPhone ecosystem like they were, I would imagine they could probably still get into any kind of iPhone that they want. They're pretty smart.
In the two stories that I saw on this, they're listed as an Israeli firm. a spyware firm,
Mm-hmm.
an Israeli vendor. Like, we're using terminology here like they're a legitimate business.
Oh, I'm sure they are in Israel. I mean, these guys they don't care about money, and they were because it takes millions of dollars and hundreds of people to put together this kind of software. This is usually something you'd see in a 15-story building in Moscow building ransomware.
Right.
But this firm, they don't have any kind of public website or public social media. They're strictly cloak and dagger kind of things, and they just go after specific people. That's what's amazing about this. They have drilled this down to where if they wanted you, they would send you an email, and then they've got you.
Okay, but why would they want you? Who is hiring them here?
Well, that's the unknown of it. They were, and the amazing thing about this software, it had a self-delete so that if somebody starts snooping around in the phone to look for their software, it would delete itself.
This very quickly gets into the world of, like, their top customer would be Francis Underwood, like Kevin Spacey's character in House of Cards.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
This is governments are hiring them. It would be my guess. I mean, the article doesn't reference exactly who's hiring them, but this is government espionage or very, very high level corporate espionage.
If they really want to move to the next level, I'm available for live reads. I can do endorsements for this sort of thing. I would love to do this.
The problem is they don't technically exist anywhere.
Right.
And they don't want you to know that they exist.
Right. You can will them into existence, though.
You know, it would be fascinating to see something like how this works on the inside.
Totally. We got to take a quick break. We got a lot more coming. Namely, how much should you be paying for your internet? It's Cup of Tech Gumbo. He's Haggai Davis. We continue next right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Hey, Christy's in. What's up, boo?
What up, Christy?
Christy had
Oh my god, you can see my ugly hands on the camera. I need to get my nails done today.
Me too.
You want to go?
No. Got to go record a podcast that I was there for yesterday.
Oh, there's the hand.
Kill all the mics. Put the mics back on. Yeah.
That was the launder's hand, Eric.
That was my hand.
When you're running for office, two things are very important. Number one, getting your messaging out. For that, call 5 Star Printing and Signs. Number two, get in the dirt on your opponent. Let me tell you about Quadream. Is that the name of the
Yes,
company?
yeah.
Quadream? Let me tell you about Quadream Ltd. They market their spyware under the name Rain. And if you want to reign this political season, get in touch with Quadream.
I like it.
Does your opponent have a fetish that you can exploit? Quadream.
Kind of like being into diapers.
Easy now. Too soon.
Is it too soon for that?
Is there
We still have the same governor that resulted from that.
Ugh.
is there a country that you'd like to have their government taken down?
Oh, which, by the way, are we not going to talk about the intel leak?
Probably not. Did it happen in Louisiana? Was there a Louisiana connection? Is it in Baton Rouge in any way?
No.
Have I talked about Hunter Biden the whole
The Maine Air National Guard. That's something we're going to get into next week.
11-1. We will talk about it from 11 to 1 and probably the first 3 minutes of every hour.
We will probably be talking about that on Tech Gumbo next week.
It's
We don't do breaking news on Tech Gumbo. We do news and analysis.
Well, because there's so much that comes out after the fact. That's the
Absolutely.
part I'm waiting.
Well, first of all, I think that the guy that they arrested is not the actual person who leaked it.
He looks stupid.
He's a little boy. Like,
Oh, he's not a little boy.
he's
22, isn't he?
He looks like he's a little boy. And, I mean, we all know that they always have a scapegoat. There's always a scapegoat. And it's always a low-level person.
All right, are we done with Quadream?
Yes.
That's QUADREAM.
Song, please.
Oh, shoot. Well, we get your money now. We got 2 minutes. Do I want to go older in the 90s or like late 90s?
There's like 15 seconds.
No, you've got 2 minutes for your money now.
No. 15 seconds.
Oh. Live after 5 coming your way this evening, 5 to 8 p.m. in Roar Plaza in downtown Baton Rouge. Sugar Shaker is going to be on the stage, a great dance band.
Jennifer Kushinka with
That
your
wasn't
money
15
now.
seconds. That
Walmart
was
is selling
7.
Bonobos Incorporated for $75 million, a fraction of what it paid for the menswear brand. And the latest sign the big box retailer is unwinding some of its e-commerce plays. Walmart is selling Bonobos to the fashion retailer Express Incorporated and the management firm WHP Global. WHP Global will buy Bonobos brand for $50 million. Express will acquire its operating assets and assume the related liabilities of the business for $25 million. Walmart paid $310 million to acquire Bonobos in 2017. Elon Musk has announced a way for Twitter users to make money and in turn make money for the social media network. Twitter users will be able to offer their followers subscriptions on content, including long-form text and hours-long videos. It's a revamp of Twitter's monetized subscription tool. On Wall Street, features pointing to a mixed open this morning. That's your money now.
At first glance, Terrence and Shania have nothing in common. Terrence is a musician. He's constantly traveling. He's 32 years old, single with no kids, and started smoking when he was 16. Shania, on the other hand, just turned 45. She owns a coffee shop. She is married with 2 kids and has never smoked. What makes Terrence and Shania similar is that they both have been diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, and it was caught early. That's right. Small cell lung cancer can affect anyone. The good news is early lung cancer screenings can detect small cell lung cancer before it spreads, when the disease is most treatable. Join Stand Up to Cancer and Jazz Pharmaceuticals to raise awareness of small cell lung cancer and accelerate the pace of research. Ask your healthcare provider about screening options that might be right for you or a loved one. Visit standuptocancer.org/lung to learn more.
I'm into K-pop, so
Yeah. Hi, guys. He's a K-pop guy.
Yeah, you should come to my K-pop rehearsals. God.
Oh, that's where we're going next. You'll see. .652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. 56 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Cup of Tech Gumbo with Haggai Davis. Haggai, we need to move off the spyware thing. Quadream.
We had enough fun there.
Yeah. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you caught a little more of that. How much should I be paying for my internet?
So this was the question of the week. For those who don't know, if you go to our website, techgumbo.net, one of the tabs is question of the week. You can submit a question to us, and if we use it, we'll mail you a free Tech Gumbo mug, big, beautiful 20-ounce mug. Love our mugs. Love to send them out for free. But the question this week was, how much should I be paying for internet?
Mm-hmm.
And across the country, the average or the mean price is about $70 a month. So there's a lot of different factors that come into what you're actually going to be charged. It's, what kind of speeds are you getting? Full gigabit speeds? Are you, just 300 megabits? Are you even less than that? Then are you on fiber? Are you on, cable? Are you on DSL? Are you using satellite now? And then the kind of availability. If you're in Baton Rouge, you have some good options, but if you're in the rural lands out there where you may or may not have a choice, that's what's going to depend a lot upon it. Then there's the hidden fees. Your ISP wants to put their modem, their router, their access point out there, and that's just $6 a month, $8 a month, and $9 a month kind of thing. And all of a sudden now you're at $20, and you're not even expecting that. Whereas you could have gone to the big box stores and bought your own hardware and gotten away from that. The thing you need to do though is talk to your internet service provider.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just say sign a 3-year contract and walk away from it. Call them once a year. Set a reminder on your calendar. Hey, what's the latest in the internet deals? I mean, because bandwidth gets cheaper, but they want you to spend the same amount of money.
Right.
So if you were spending $100 hypothetically for 100 megabits of throughput 2 years ago, you can get for $100, 500 megabits now of throughput. So check with your ISP, see what kind of deals they have.
But every time you re-up a deal, don't you have to start that audit again to look for the new one-time fees?
So sign a 1-year deal then, and just put a reminder that once a year, or if you can get away with a 90-day or a 6-month contract, that's even better. But never sign more than a 1-year deal with any kind of telecom provider, because the prices of what you can get from telecom, the changes so very rapidly.
Yeah,
you need to be in touch and say, hey, what's the latest deal now? Because it can save you a lot of money, or you can get a lot more bang for the exact same amount of money a year later.
Okay, so the long and the short of that is there's no way to have one direct answer to how much should I be paying for my internet.
No, it's like asking how much does a car cost? Well, I mean, there's a million different answers to that.
Right.
What are the
Do
bells
you want
and
better
whistles?
gas mileage? Do you want more seating? Do you go
Yeah, I mean,
mud riding a lot?
A thing you need to be careful, though, with your internet service provider is make sure you don't have data caps. Because if you're only allotted, hypothetically, 200 gigs of data, and all of a sudden you get past that, now you're going to be charged double and triple kind of prices, and your monthly can go way up on what you're being charged.
We got a couple minutes left. He's Haggai Davis. This is a Cup of Tech Gumbo. We do it every Friday. Got to touch in on TikTok real quick.
Sure.
They got smacked down a little bit.
Yep. So in the UK, this was data from the year 2020. They had 1.4 million kids 13 and under on TikTok, and that's against the Europe's GDPR rules that you're not supposed to allow 13-year-olds on your platform, and because you're collecting data on everybody who comes on TikTok, and so TikTok collecting all this data. The GDPR has different kinds of rules. They don't just say, here's a $10 million fine. They're going out and saying, here's a 5% of your revenue fine. And then the second time, now it's here's 10% of your revenue fine. And those prices on those fines add up real fast, and they start making companies change their habits in those particular countries.
Wait, stop on the revenue. Revenue generated within the UK or
within
overall
the UK.
revenue? Okay.
Revenue.
Because I was going to say,
UK.
there's no way the UK can have domain over all that.
Oh, no. In that good question. In that specific country, they're leveling fines on a percentage of revenue, not profits, but on revenue. And so when you have the general data privacy rights rules that the way the European Union does, that's what allows companies or countries rather to change the way social media platforms work. Instead of banning some like the U.S. wants to ban TikTok, just put in some data privacy rules, and that changes everything.
The next step for TikTok, though, can they flex back on this?
No, because the laws are in place, and you've got to follow the laws of every one of the countries in the European Union, or do not have your service available to any one of those countries in the EU. It's that simple.
We're so far down the TikTok rabbit hole that I worry that, as much as I love the platform, I worry that they are too popular. Like, they could, if they were to try to do this in America, and we were to flex back and say, you have to pay us a $20-something million fine, TikTok would come back and say, we're just going to take it away from you. You don't have to have this anymore. And I think more people would react to that than the other way around.
if you took that level of fine in the U.S.
Mhm.
and that changes TikTok's, their algorithms know exactly how old every one of their users are.
Yeah.
So, no, we know you're, sorry, little Johnny, you're 11 years old. We can't let you on the platform.
Right.
You change things like that, and then TikTok makes it the gazillions of dollars.
We got to continue this into the break. There's a lot more ground to cover here. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, Haggai Davis and I, we're going to continue the conversation as we get you to ABC News on the air. Meanwhile, while we're talking about things that are of the web, you need to visit talk1073.com. The Dreams Come True Radiothon continues right now. We teamed up with the Baton Rouge Clinic to bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. We greatly, greatly appreciate all the interaction and donations that you've made thus far, but we're not done yet. This goes on all month long. Help make a dream come true for a Louisiana child battling a life-threatening illness. The Dreams Come True Radiothon. Learn more at talk1073.com. Here comes ABC News. I'm told the commercials were on that last. It was just set your money down. Okay. If I believe that there is a part of the American psyche that would be really, really weird here. If America were to pass something like this,
like the
depends
GDPR.
on it. Yes, it depends on who passes it, because you could very easily, I can very easily see a scenario where we want to pass a ban on TikTok for anybody under the age of 15. Okay, let's say that's out there. Politically speaking, hey, parents, the government's taking away your rights to raise your child. And we would revolt saying, no, my kid, if I want my 11-year-old on TikTok, my 11-year-old will be on TikTok.
And that's fine. But the political right and the political left both want to make changes for different reasons. But, I mean, they want to tear up Section 230 and start over. But if you get rid of Section 230 from the Telecom Decency Act of 1996, then you blow up all social media. YouTube goes away. I mean, everything.
What it ought to, though. If you're going to blow it up, you have to blow it up for everybody.
But instead of blowing that up, if you put in the data privacy rights,
okay,
so that you as the user controls what happens to your data, it does not change. It doesn't. GDPR does not say you cannot stop TikTok from airing in the United States. It says TikTok, you cannot allow anyone under 13 on your network.
Yes. I mean, this is like,
and so
basically telling TikTok, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Like, if you want to enter our establishment to sell your wares, you have to follow. It's up to you to follow our rules. We'll audit after. If
mom, dad want to create a profile in their name and hand the phone to little Johnny or little Susie at 11 years old, that's on them.
And that's where I'm saying the revolt will come in. It's gonna be based off of who it is that passes it, because there's political hay to be thrown about. But it will be thrown about.
Both sides of the political aisle want to protect the family, just for different reasons. And I mean, what politician?
Neither side of the political aisle gives a shit about your family or mine.
Oh, they just want to get reelected,
right?
Oh, any politician get reelected.
And one of the best ways to get reelected is to have a boogeyman that half the population is scared of. And right now, that's TikTok for one reason or another. TikTok is a boogeyman. The government is a boogeyman.
Absolutely.
So between those two things, the government is trying to tell you how to raise your kids.
But if you put in some type of privacy rights because right now when you've got Google and Facebook and all these companies collecting so much data about you, and you have no idea how much data they have about you, what they're doing with that data. In Europe, they know exactly what Google is doing with your data. They know exactly what Facebook is collecting on you. And if you want none of that to be kept about you, they're light years ahead of us in Europe as far as that. If you don't care, that's fine. Then you can have these companies collect all the data in the world about you, because that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Google and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and Amazon, and they're all collecting the same data. But China bad, California good.
No, and California selling to China good as well.
Exactly.
And I get that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too jaded with where we're at politically to think that we can get to a solution that will serve the people rather than a solution that will serve the fear that we've created in a political in our political climate.
And that's partly why I don't give a damn about any politicians. I mean, I don't, I'm political right or left. I mean, I just.
Time to check that forecast. Here is WBRZ meteorologist Marissa Nuzzo.
I think politics is just a waste of time now.
Yeah, I know.
It once was a great
That's
thing.
That's because you want the communists to take over. That's
yeah,
why.
That's
Exactly why.
Mhm.
That's also why you hate minorities and gays.
Yeah.
That's that. Like the moment you say I give up, then that's what you're pigeonholed into.
Mm-hmm. Because I just want to take care of me, you take care of you, and
Right.
let's all go on about our way.
Right. It's so infuriating. Do what? Got it.